I think it's time for another data miner kata. Hello and welcome to another Bringing the Thunder. That's right, we have another exciting tutorial exercise, data miner kata, waiting for you. And we just came out of a very amazing 2025 Empower where I got to meet a lot of you viewers, which was really fun. So shout out to all of you I met in real life. And if you're watching this, get ready. It's going to be a fun one because we have here as a guest Wouter once again. I believe it's the second time you're here, but in case someone didn't see the previous one, who are you or what do you do here at Skyline?
Yes, thank you, Jan. So I'm Wouter, of course, as you mentioned. I work mainly on DAS here.
Yes.
In the platform team. So making sure that everyone can just spin up that DAS system.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah.
We've been using DAS as a prerequisite for a lot of these videos.
That's correct.
So definitely, I bet for you, very fun to hear as well, because your work is really getting utilized quite a lot.
Yeah.
So thank you for all that hard work. It's not about DAS today, though.
No, it's not about DAS.
It's not about DAS, but you do have something fun for us. What is the topic of today?
The topic of today is the alarm console, Jan.
The alarm console.
Yeah.
Brand new feature.
Brand new feature.
It's been in there a little bit, but I'm gonna guess you've got some tips, tricks, or at least some additional explanation on the alarm console for us.
Yes.
Great.
So, of course, the alarm console, data miner, all about monitoring. So the alarm console is a very crucial part
important
of the data miner cube interface.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also a data miner trainer, Jan, and we have a module that is about alarms and about the alarm console. It takes about half a day, sorry. They would be a little bit too much, but it takes about half a day to explain everything about the alarm console.
You're gonna do it in 10 minutes.
And I'm gonna do it in 20 minutes. No,
I'm ready for a speed run.
No, I'm gonna highlight some interesting things. Maybe some things that you didn't know existed.
Yeah. Okay.
And some tips and tricks that can make your life a bit easier if you work with the alarm console.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, almost everyone who has a data miner setup will work with the alarm console. Okay. Any prerequisites? Do we need to install something? Any maps or?
In essence, you just need a data miner system that has some alarms in it.
Okay.
I do have a package available that you can deploy if you just have your if you use a DAS system, for example, just as I have here, just to generate some alarms in the system that we can we can work.
Something to have at least something in the alarm console. But if they have a staging setup that already has some alarming, then
you can also follow along with that. So
great.
I will deploy this package here
on
my machine. And
it's called Unlocking the Power of Data Miner Alarm Console, the title of our probably a title of our kata.
Yes, the title of a kata.
Great. So I'm already seeing some alarming getting generated in the alarm console there at the bottom of our screen. I'm guessing that means the deployment was successful.
The deployment was successful indeed. So we have a number of views in the surveyor here, some subviews, and in there some elements which have some alarms that were generated.
Okay.
Now, if we take a look at the alarm console, we have here 3 tabs that are available. So we have our active alarms tab showing our active alarms. We have the information events showing all the things that happen on your system, and masked alarms where you will see the alarms that you mask. Alarms that you say, just hide them for now. We're aware of it. Just put them away.
Okay.
Just for a moment. But you can also create custom alarm tabs.
Yeah.
So if you just want to filter down what you see, just what you want to see that is interesting for you.
Okay.
So you can create custom alarm tabs. So you can click on this plus sign here, which will allow you to apply any filters on this new tab.
Yeah, a little bit of a wizard there that opens up similar to where you can select different items.
Yeah. So you can just click here on apply filters, specify a filter. But I'm not gonna go into details on this one because actually I want to show you a very specific tab that you can open, which is the active alarms linked to cards. So this is actually a very special one.
So it's a preset.
It's a preset, so it's kind of something that's
default in there. Yeah.
You don't need to configure this.
Active alarms linked to cards.
Yeah. So if I open this, you will see that there is this special icon here.
Okay.
Like a chain or
like a link item.
Yeah. And if you look at it now, you just see your alarms that are on the system. If you compare it to the first tab, it's just the same alarms. But actually, this tab is linked to whatever you open in your workspace. So let me close this a bit or put it a bit lower. So if I open, for example, a view here, you will see that it is now linked to this view, as you can see. And the alarms that you see are just the alarms that are in that specific view.
Honestly, never used it before. Already something new for me, and I love it.
There you go. There you go. So if you click further on an element, for example, it will filter on that element. So it's really interesting. You open something up, you work with it.
While you're working with it,
see the alarms that are available.
Yeah, already very nice, very cool features. So linked to the cards, linked to what is open on your UI.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay.
So let's close this again. So I told you can apply that filter, but there's actually a very easy, quick way to also create a filter tab. And you can just grab any object, for example, from your surveyor, and drag it onto the alarm console like this. And then you can easily
configure, but it's pre-configured to what you drag up.
So if you don't
very cool.
make any changes to what is
defaulted,
you will see the active alarms here from this specific view here.
Yeah.
So from my site one view, I can do the same for the other one here.
Yeah.
If I don't change anything, I will see the active alarms from the second view.
Okay.
So it's a quick and easy way to add a filtered tab.
Yeah.
Now, Jan, you might have noticed that if you look at the alarm console, and so I'm now looking at the site 2 tab here, I switch to this tab. I can only look at one of these tabs, at the same time.
Yeah.
So within the alarm console, you have these tabs, and you're kind of limited to looking at this specific tab. If you're working a bit with DataMiner, you know that if you open an element, you can simply open a new element in a new card.
Yeah, and you have you've got some.
Yeah, you have them side by side. You can work. If I can grab this, so you can just put them side by side. You can work with both these elements. So it would be nice if you could also do this with alarm lists.
Yes.
And of course you can.
Okay, otherwise you probably wouldn't mention it.
Otherwise I wouldn't mention it.
Okay.
So let me close these cards. To do this, you can actually just, you can grab the tab here and you can drag it outside of the alarm console.
Ah, simple as that.
Yeah. So you get like a new window.
Yeah.
And then you can dock it to the workspace. So you have the option here to dock it to the workspace. And then it's, like it says,
becomes like a card.
It becomes a card within your workspace.
Okay.
And you can do the same for the other tab here. Also dock it to your workspace.
Yeah.
And then you can, you have them, side by side. You can look at both lists at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is not possible within the alarm console itself.
Yeah, could already be a very quick win if you've got some kind of screen or television screen, you want to showcase some of your alarms.
Indeed.
You can easily do it like that, even before you end up making low-code apps or dashboards or anything. This is out of the box, just drag and drop. Cool, already very interesting.
Yeah. So let's go back and let's have a look at the actual alarms here, because we didn't really have a look at the alarms itself.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the alarm list, you have all these columns that show the properties of the alarms. And so you have the element name, the parameter description, the value that triggered the alarm, time, route time, severity, of course. These are all properties of the alarm. And by default, you will have these properties that are shown in the alarm console. But we have many other properties for an alarm, and you can add them. And just right-clicking on any of the headers here, you have the option to add and remove.
There's quite a few of them.
There are a lot of them. So you can just start adding, and just gonna add some random columns here. So you can add whatever information that is interesting for you, add them to this.
To your console,
to your
alarm
console,
Okay.
Once they're in there, you can just also remove, not remove them, of course, but you can move them around. You can just grab it and move it. You can resize it all you want, just to make it your own.
And that UI gets kept when you like undock it and move it around, or do you have to first undock it and then do your edits, or no? It gets you change it, you undock it, you got it.
If you undock it, it will remain just like that.
Okay.
I can dock this back into my alarm console.
Okay.
And I have it there. And even better, Jan, if you would log out and log back in, it will
remain as well.
It will remember your settings.
Cool.
Now imagine that you did some things and you say like, whoa, I kind of didn't know what I was doing here.
And suddenly it's a mess.
Suddenly it's a mess. Don't worry, you can just go to the same menu here, and at the bottom you have this nice set default columns option, just to reset the entire view with the default columns.
Okay.
So these are the default alarm properties that we have, but you can actually also create custom properties. So if you want to add some metadata to your alarms, you can create custom properties and also show them in the alarm console.
Okay.
So to add a custom property, you can right-click any of the alarm items here, go to Properties, go to the Custom tab, and in here, click on this.
The cogwheel at the bottom.
Yes.
Configure it.
Click on Add. Now, a typical example of, for example, a property is a ticket ID.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not that uncommon that for your alarms that you have, that you create a ticket.
Yeah.
And this way you can store it in DataMiner to understand what the ticket ID is.
Okay, some metadata that links the alarm to either a ticket from a DataMiner or a ticket from a third-party system, just anything to integrate within whatever existing setup you might have. So, interesting. Metadata powerful, okay.
So we're adding this
custom properties.
Custom property, indeed, ticket ID. So now it's added. Once you add it here, it's available for all your alarms. So once it's here, you can use it. I'm not going to fill it in here. Just going to click OK. You will see that it can be added here in the list.
Yeah.
So we add a column, and you see that there is now an additional entry here for the alarm properties where it says ticket ID.
Yeah.
So we add it, and now we can fill it in with a ticket ID just like this. You can, of course, also use a script or whatever to programmatically fill this in based on whatever.
It gives you the base framework to then be able to either automate it or manually.
When
a user starts maybe using or tackling it, they could add a ticket, or they could, okay.
Yeah. So that's, quite interesting to know that you can enrich your alarm data. Another thing about the alarm columns here, so when you work with alarms, it's not just about viewing the alarms. There are certain actions that you can do on your alarms. For example, one typical
Auto
action.
fix. No.
Auto fix, yeah.
Auto
That would be a nice one.
That would be fun.
Taking ownership of an alarm.
Taking ownership.
That's a typical example.
Yes.
So if you go to the right-click menu of an alarm, you will find the take ownership.
Which it's a built-in
Yes.
action to perform. Okay.
So it's basically to let other people know that, hey, I'm working on this.
Yeah.
You don't need to look at this. I'm working on this. So you can click on take ownership. You get this screen. You can fill in a comment if you like, and then you take ownership. Now, if I do this again, and I will count how many times I need to click. So I need to click once for my context or my right-click menu, click another time for the take ownership, and then click a third time to actually take the ownership. So this, takes me 3 clicks.
Okay.
And a lot of...
okay.
And of course, I'm lazy, so I don't want to have to click 3 times if I need to acknowledge an alarm.
All right.
So we can add special action buttons to an alarm or to the alarm console here.
Directly as a column or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you go to add remove column, you find the actions here, and there you have the ownership item here. And this just adds a button in line that I can just click, and I took ownership just like that.
And maybe I'm not catching it, but when you take ownership, how is that visible in the alarm?
Yeah, indeed. So the owner column here shows who is owner of the alarm.
In there, yeah.
So
it's either system or then the name of the user that took ownership.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So an alarm that is not owned by anyone is just it's coming from the system, and otherwise the name of the person who took ownership or acknowledged the alarm. It's a bit the same terminology. Will be shown here. So I can click this button again, and it will go back to the system.
It's a toggle. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a toggle. You have some other actions as well, but this is just to show it with this one here.
Yeah. Cool.
Another thing that I want to show here is, so I already told you that you can move your columns, that you can resize them, but you can also sort them. And by default, the alarms are sorted by time. So the newest alarms are on top.
That makes sense in a lot of cases.
In a lot of cases, it makes sense. So if I open a new element here, or an element that doesn't have an alarm yet, and I generate one, let's see. Then you will see that on top here, you will have the alarm generate. So it's a new alarm. If you look closely in the top left corner of the alarm console, you can see that there is some kind of grouping applied. Yeah. So these alarms are grouped by the time column. And so in this case, just deployed it, so it's all today. But if I would sort on severity, you will see that this grouping changes, and you will see all the alarms grouped per severity.
Because you said sort this on severity.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it kind of follows the sorting that you apply to automatically group it also on that same column. Now, maybe you don't want this. So to do this, you have to disable the auto arrange option. Okay. So you can go to the menu here, the alarm console menu.
It's a separate menu on the top left of your alarm console.
And this menu, just so you know, this is also per tab.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yes. That's maybe very good to know, because these are all options that you can configure, and they are applied to the specific tab
that is open in your alarm console. Yeah. Okay.
So if I disable the automatically group according to arrangement, you will see the grouping disappeared. And I can now...
Still sorted.
It's still sorted. So if I sort back on time, you will see that new alarm is now on top. Okay. But there is no grouping. And now I can add a group, or add a grouping myself. So I can right-click here on the column here, on the parameter description, for example, and I can say group by this field. So we still have the sorting on time, but we have this grouping per parameter.
Okay. And then it's sorted per parameter
Per
in this case, but
Yeah.
but still based on time.
Based on time, yeah.
All right.
The nice thing is if you don't have this automatic grouping is that you can add multiple layers of grouping. So for this audio output level, for example, I can add an additional grouping on the severity, for example. So then you have per parameter an additional group that shows me
Kind of
severity.
okay, kind of making it into more of a tree control structure or a hierarchy. It's
Yeah.
not a control, it's more of a monitoring. But you can have it in a tree structure if you want, just by adding layers of grouping.
Yeah.
How deep does this rabbit hole go? Like
I never tried it. I never tried grouping on all the columns. Not sure what the result will be.
But okay, but you can go further than two.
Yeah,
is
you
my
can add.
You can add more to them, and it'll keep going.
Maybe I can
how does
add
it
a grouping on the owner as well, so you can see it just keeps.
what does it
keeps
add
adding.
when you add a new one? Is that like the top level or the bottom?
It will be below that. So the first one you add is like
Is the
the
first
top,
and
and
the
then
top.
it just keeps
Okay.
on adding it deeper
right.
in the nesting. Yeah.
Nice, that's
Yeah.
fun.
So that's also something that is good to know.
Yeah.
And you will see I can actually add another one of those active alarms tab. That here it's the nothing changed
The
here.
default again. Yeah.
So because here this is not changed here because the settings are per tab.
Per tab. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna put the automatic grouping back.
Now, you mentioned in the beginning that these tabs and the information and settings are saved. So if you log in, log off, and log in again as your user, you'll get the same setup.
Yeah.
Is that by per user, or like, can you make something that says anyone who logs onto this system gets this?
Yeah. So you can configure certain tabs to be applied to a group.
Yeah.
So as an administrator, you can say, okay, if I have a user that works in the NOC, these are the tabs that they need. I can apply the filtering. I can apply whatever.
Yeah. Because I can imagine as an administrator, you might say, okay, indeed, like, let me pre-make this entire template or this entire view so that everyone who logs in doesn't have to do that again.
Yeah.
So that's possible.
That's possible,
okay.
yeah.
Cool.
And otherwise, it's saved per user.
Yeah. Okay.
Good. So if we go a bit to the bottom here of the alarm console, you have this alarm bar, and you have these statistics here at the bottom saying how many alarms of specific severity they are.
A little bit of metrics there.
Yeah, but actually there are also quick filters to quickly filter on this severity. So if I click on it, it will filter my list and show me only the alarms that match that severity. So it's a very quick way of filtering out all the alarms,
those measures and stuff. Okay.
based on their severity. If you click on it, you will also see in the filter field here that it actually adds the filter that is applied to do this.
All right, the textual.
Yeah, the textual representation of the
filter. Yeah.
So you can clear this, and then a very nice feature. So normally when you want to filter, you will start typing in that box. But if you hold the Control key, and you hover over the items here, you will see that behind the words there is like it's
it
kind of an orange highlight. If you then click, it will be added here to the filter. So you can just start clicking. So if I want to further filter on measure, for example, it adds that as well. So you can use this to add these words without having to type them. Just click.
Okay, magic combo, Control key,
and
then click on,
and then click on the items. You can also click them again to remove them. So then you remove that item again.
Very cool.
Yeah,
that's a nice tip. Nice trick.
Yeah, that's a nice trick indeed. One more thing that, actually two more things that I want to show. I'm constantly right-clicking here. If I take this element here that I just used previously to generate my alarm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just quickly create a filtered tab again.
Drag and drop. We've seen that.
We've seen that before. Show the active alarms.
Okay.
So you see the alarm. What happens if I remove this alarm? Of course, what do you think will happen?
It should go away from your
It
alarm.
should go away, and indeed it will, or it disappeared. And so, because by default, if you have a cleared alarm, it will, be gone. You won't see it again.
Okay.
Or you won't see it anymore. But this is actually also a setting on your tab.
Yeah, because now that you mention it, I could immediately imagine situations where an alarm kind of quickly goes up and then goes down. But as an administrator, I would still want to know that it happened.
Yeah, that's exactly the situation where you might use this.
Yes.
So you can change this again in the alarm console setting here, which is linked to your tab. And it's the first option here, automatically remove cleared alarms. So if I disable this, and again, I'm gonna create
alarm.
this alarm here and just clear it, you will see that it now is still visible in the alarm console as a cleared alarm, as a normal alarm.
And then drop down in there as well. Okay.
So if you now want to remove it, you have to remove it manually. So you have to remove the cleared alarm manually from your list, indeed.
Okay.
Now, imagine that this happens a couple of times. So we get another alarm, let's say -3. So it generates a new alarm. So this is a separate alarm tree, as we call it. And because the other one is closed, so as soon as an alarm clears, the alarm tree is closed.
Okay.
So you get a new alarm tree. This one clears again.
Okay. Now I can imagine if that happens like 200 times in an hour or something, you'd get quite a lot.
You get a lot of entries in your alarm console. Yeah. So you might, So it's cluttering, and what is now still relevant in your alarm console? What are now the alarms that I still need to
at that point, it's more about the fact that it's toggling.
Indeed.
Should be a single thing that says, hey, this thing has been toggling, and not I can see the toggle.
Yeah. Indeed. So that's why you can combine it with another option, which is available, and it's called the merge alarm trees.
All right.
So if you use this option, you can, it will combine the different alarm trees from the same parameter on the same element, and it will just create like a large tree. So you only have one entry.
But the one entry remains a single entry at the top level, but only when you uncollapse it, you'll see that,
you see the full history of this alarm. So if I would now generate a new alarm again, you will see that it just uses that same alarm tree. If it clears again, it will remain with that
a lot less
alarm tree.
clutter like that in case this happens. And then if you clear the top level one, it's going to remove the entire tree.
So this is now a cleared alarm, so you can just say remove the cleared alarms, and it will remove them from your system.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, no, that's very interesting. Very nice.
So that was basically what I wanted to show
very
today.
Cool tips and tricks. For the people who have been following along and clicking and playing along like we have, is there something you would say, okay, hey, if they take a screenshot of this, you can at least, show that you followed along and you played with it and you have mastered at least these tips and tricks that we've been showing you. Anything in particular you think would be good, or what's your idea on that?
Yeah, well, if you saw something that you found interesting, for example, using the tabs displaying in the workspace, or adding like a custom property with the ticket ID or anything else you like, just anything that you saw was interesting, just take a screenshot, send it, and
Well,
get some
okay,
points.
perfect. So yeah, you saw a bunch of tips and tricks there. We dragged and dropped. We made custom properties. We saw the history tree of the alarming. We saw a whole bunch of amazing stuff. We can take ownership. We can do a lot of stuff with the alarm console. And this is probably still just the tip of the iceberg that we are seeing. But if you enjoyed one of these things, feel free to play around with it, test it out, either using your staging setup or a DOS with this package. Send a screenshot in, we'll give you your DevOps points for that. And I hope you play around more with it. And well, thank you very much for preparing, for showing us this, for giving us these awesome tips and tricks on the alarm console. Now, if you are watching from YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're always aware whenever we have a new video. And other than that, well, we'll catch you on the next one, I guess. Good luck. See you.